CINE, the Council on International Non-Theatrical Events, has awarded this film a Golden Eagle in token of its excellence.
What do you think you're doing? You're supposed to be asleep. Come on, back into bed now.
Mum, right.
I want all these toys cleaned up in the morning.
Mum.
Night night. Sleep tight.
Mum.
Imagine taking a camera into your dreams, where the difference between illusion and reality disappears. Like a painter uses a brush, or a writer uses a pen, computer artists use the computer as a tool to translate their ideas and fantasies onto the screen. You will see how artists from around the world bring their visions to life in computer dreams.
삼성이 창조하는 21세기. 올림픽과 함께하는 삼성의 첨단 기술, 휴먼 테크.
Animators have long had a fascination with replicating human motion and expression. The golden synthetic actor was designed and built in the computer by sculptress Diana Walczak and her partner Jeff Kleiser. To make one of their digital actors, they first sculpt the character in clay, building it around a flexible metal skeleton. The surface of the finished sculpture is divided up into small grids using very thin plastic tape. The grid for the mouth area is created by drawing directly onto the sculpture. All the grids are traced into the computer with a digitizing pen, creating a human motion database. A series of facial expression have been designed to endow their synthetic actor with lifelike speech, mannerisms, and emotions. The fully encoded character is animated, first in outline form called a wireframe, and then finally as a solid object complete with colour and reflections.
You know, some people have been putting on rubber masks and parading around pretending to be synthetic. This means fewer jobs for you and me, and we're gonna put a stop to this right now. When I'm elected, synthetic parts will go to synthetic actors.
Animators create three-dimensional objects and test motion in the wireframe form first, because the computer works faster that way. When the objects and the movement look just right, the full colour version is calculated by the computer. Instead of having to specify motion for each object, these flocks of birds and schools of fish are controlled by behavioural animation, which allows them to be animated in groups, with each bird or fish navigating its own path while staying close to its neighbours. In this dreamy underwater love story, the animators have simulated a whole new reality, giving their creations subtle personalities, allowing us to feel that Stanley the bird and Stella the fish are real. We can share their longing and desire. Computer animation gives us a window on a universe of infinite possibilities, where the normal physical realities of light and matter have an endlessly changing and dynamically new existence. As with any creative medium, computer artists use basic principles of design, such as texture, lighting, transparency, and color. The computer creates images with perfect perspective and flawlessly smooth shapes. These are qualities that have always been the most difficult for artists to create by hand.
Fabricate, to make up, isn't a deception. Rhythm, a regular recurrence, over and over.
Fabricated rhythm, you keep weaving your lies in and out of my life, but I just can't tear myself away.
Fabricated rhythm, that's no way of living. Fabricated rhythm, that's no way of living. Fabricated rhythm.
One technique is digital painting, where the artist paints on top of film or video images in a process much like tracing, called rotoscoping. This gives artists nearly unlimited choices in changing and abstracting reality.
Fabricated rhythm, that's no way of living. Fabricated rhythm, breaking my heart. Fabricated rhythm, such a crazy rhythm. Fabricated rhythm, tearing me apart.
Two-dimensional computer animation is similar to traditional cell animation, but has a different look and feel. Relatively inexpensive to produce, much of this animation is used in children's programs for education and entertainment.
You wanna count your fingers?
Wanna count your toes?
Want to count all the buttons that are on your clothes?
Where do you learn to count?
You learn to count in school.
So let's go to school, 'cause school is cool.
School is cool.
Oh, Bird, that is brilliant.
Atlaka.
O. O is for owl.
That's me.
No, that's O is for owl.
Oh.
Looks like Mom and Dad are going out again.
From health spas to the home, video games have come a long way since Pong and Pac-Man. They're probably the most accessible form of computer animation, with millions of kids having their first computer experience with fast-moving graphics and digitized sounds.
And I say, please, please, don't leave me with a mean babysitter. And I say, please, please, don't leave me with a mean babysitter. I just thought, please, please.
Digital Video Interactive is a new computer system combining graphics and live action, where the user actively participates with the program. Uses so far include education, sales, and training. animation has been around since the days of Walt Disney. We all know the wonder of watching such classics as Sleeping Beauty or Pinocchio. This traditional cell animation is painstakingly drawn by hand, frame by frame. Heidi Turnipseed is a former Disney animator. She starts her animation the traditional way, drawing on paper animation cells, but she combines traditional hand-drawn animation with computers by encoding the drawings with a digitizing camera and then colouring and animating them on her computer. This allows her complete control over the animation. She no longer commutes to work at a studio, as the entire process is done in her studio at home. The implications for change in the animation industry are immense. Former Disney animator John Lasseter and his colleagues created this piece at Pixar, the Lucasfilm computer division recently bought by Stephen Jobs, co-founder of Apple Computer. Made at Ohio State University, this ostrich love story was one of the first three-dimensional computer animations produced, where creatures were brought to life with charm and grace.
Using digital technology, many different layers of visuals can be composited together, juxtaposing popular icons in fantastic new ways. Endless artistic possibilities are opened up by the integration of live action with computer-generated characters and environments.
Computer painting, live action, miniature models and still photos are composited together using digital processing and editing in this dreamlike Art Deco style piece. In this kids' show, Captain Power, the computer-animated robots were filmed separately from the actors. Combining the live action of the actors with the robots gives the illusion that they are both in the same scene. It's a new dramatic challenge for actors to perform with and relate to computer-generated environments and characters. Live action, digital effects, and computer graphics are combined in this visionary exploration of futuristic mood alterations. Slick, shiny, sophisticated images have become commonplace on television. The combination of startling visuals and dazzling sounds create a fertile ground for consumer seduction.
J'ai roulé dans ta vie depuis que tu conduis. Revenez vite au salon de l'auto, mes chéris. 400 modèles de rêve et plein d'émotions. Des surprises de toutes les tailles, le choix de l'ultra voiture. Ne manquez surtout pas ça, sur 14 ou 24 ans.
Television advertisers used to be confined to images that could be derived photographically from the real world. Today, technology provides advertisers with a vast array of sensational visuals with which to manipulate consumers' desires.
We can fly high above the clouds. Let me show you
Some people like the taste of Coke.
Nah.
And some people like the taste of Pepsi.
Nah.
But some people go out of their way for the taste of RC.
Not long ago, the Express Meals microwave from Sunbeam appeared. An event that had an unnerving effect on the rest of the kitchen. Because Express Meals is not only a microwave, it's also an oven, broiler, and toaster. So instead of needing several appliances to prepare something delicious, you now need only one Express Meals from Sunbeam.
In courts of law, evidence equals truth and reality. These images are being used in court where a major aerospace firm is suing the US government for allegedly stealing a key satellite design. The operation of this design was so complex that a computer simulation was created to explain how the system works.
We're further out to ensure. You are number 1 for 3 left. The traffic you're following is underground.
This eerie animation simulates the last moments of Northwest Flight 255 before its disastrous crash in Detroit in 1982. The animation is based on data from the plane's flight recorder and eyewitness accounts.
I got a crash on the airport. Airport's closed.
While the scientific community has been divided by controversy over whether the Star Wars missile defense plan is feasible or even desirable, computers have given us a nightmarish vision of a future we hope will never come to pass. The irony of these computer simulations is that they make the unreal and unimaginable seem deceptively inviting. Computers also show us a peaceful use of space, as we dream about our future. Computer animation is used in space research, planning voyages and plotting different views of distant planets. Various designs for a space station are evaluated using computer animation. The space station can be viewed from any angle, and the living and working quarters looked at from the point of view of the astronauts inside. This is NASA's concept for a robot vehicle that will one day journey to the planet Mars, traverse its terrain, and bring back soil samples so that we can study the possibility of life on other planets. These computer-generated pool balls demonstrate a sophisticated motion blurring that makes them seem real. There is almost no limit to the scientific applications of computer graphics as a tool, as it demystifies science by making the invisible visible. By using supercomputer calculations translated into animation, scientists can experiment with things they physically can't test in the laboratory. This scientific visualization transports us into the elusive, the ethereal, the impossible. People don't usually think of math as beautiful, but fractal geometry is a scientific application of computer graphics that may be the most amazing of all, because it makes the purely abstract concepts of mathematics visible. In these landscapes, each fractal object is made up of an infinite number of smaller copies of itself.
Separate the dirt from rumors. Separate the dirt from
Excitement just does so many things.
The concept of pencil polka began with the idea of using the computer to simulate the classic artist's tool, the pencil. To give the simple geometric pencil models a more realistic appearance, colour, labels and a wood-grain texture were added. The dancing was created by rotating the models and adding a moving point of view. In contrast to the high-tech visuals, the squeaky eraser sound effect was easy. The animator just rubbed his sneakers on the floor. These test wireframes are from the Academy Award-nominated short film Luxo Jr. The father and son story of two desk lamps is brought to life by endowing these inanimate objects with realistic human personalities and emotions.
Mon mari.
All right, sweetheart. I love you. Mwah. Here's looking at you, kid.
Oh, play it again, Sam.
It's a light that shines.
As access to this remarkable technology increases, we need to ask ourselves where all this may lead. With our skills in manipulating reality growing, how will we adapt to this dynamic and subtly different world? Perhaps these artistic and scientific tools will give us a new and more complex understanding of our world and ourselves, making it possible for us to see into the future and our dreams.
Surtout ne vous pressez pas, surtout.
Il n'y a pas d'urgence, que je sache.
Mais si, justement, mon cher Zélix 32, nous arrivons. Regardez, il n'y a plus qu'à se laisser guider.
Ah, tout de même, FS00, c'est vraiment merveilleux le monde moderne.
Réponds-moi, dis-moi, si tu reçois ce signal digital de ma tour de Babel qui flash dans le ciel. Tous ces messages dans tous les langages, 3 mots de français sur ordinateur pour te toucher au cœur. 3 mots de français qui voyageront.
zigzaguer sans zizanie, loin du zéro, vers la zone du zénith, où les zèbres font du zèle, et où les zoologistes, ornés de zircons, mangent du signac, du zébu, du zakouski, sans peur du zéphyr.